Alrighty.
Make myself a little more comfortable. Okay. Cool.
Right, let me get Restream going.
Oh,
Chat.
snap, Sean.
Fuck me.
What
Sega announced that they're making a Fist of the North Star team using the Yakuza team.
What do you mean?
Oh yeah, I saw this.
Champ.
What do you mean?
Did you hear that, Nate?
Yeah, I did. I saw it.
I think Nate ripped. It was too much for him.
Nate!
Wait, can you guys
Nate?
not hear? You guys can't hear me anymore?
Nate!
Wait, can you guys still?
Nate just died.
So
God
wait,
damn it.
so when was this announced?
This was announced literally today at noon.
All right. Read this head.
Nate!
Can you hear me?
Okay,
Yeah, we
now
can
I
hear you.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Okay.
God damn it. Of course, that
So-
had to happen right as we toppled the Diablo, so I couldn't attack it.
Hey, that doesn't matter. Sega announced.
I know. I was right there with you the whole time.
Okay. Fist
No, I
of
mean,
the
like,
North Star game from the Yakuza team.
I saw it. I saw the article on Kotaku where he just like takes an eye beam and just like smacks someone to the moon.
Who approved this, and where can I hug them?
Makes sense.
I guess the executives of Sega. You should hug them after so many years, Sean. I know it's been a while, but you should hug them.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely been a long time since I've wanted to hug anyone from Sega, but they've been on a roll these past couple of weeks, you know, with Sonic Mania, and now this crazy Fist of the North Star game being developed by the Yakuza team. I'm down with that. I'm perfectly fine with hugging Sega in its current form. I mean, this is the first I've heard of this, John. So thanks for bringing that to my attention. I had no idea that this was in the pipeline. Oh my god, is it going to be like God Hand, but just Fist of the North Star?
I want it.
Yeah, I'll take that.
By the way, guys, Mario and Rabbids release is like in a couple days.
It does, and
Okay,
it's still
real talk. Of the three of us, who are gonna buy it on launch?
I don't have Switch, so.
I'm probably not going to buy it on launch, but I do want to pick it up.
Like
I'm not going to buy it on launch is because I've got other things going on right now.
that game looks fantastic, but I just can't find the like gumption to buy it.
Also, Sean, did you hear about the news coming out of Square?
That they've canceled Final Fantasy VII.
No. That they're making a Secret of Mana remake.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Is it the
got
one that we
dialogue,
got? Is
And
it?
it's got 3D. It's basically going to be a 3DS title. At least I think, or it's going to be a Switch title.
That's fine. That's perfectly fine. The
It's
kind
going to
of
be
action.
in the same, not in the same art style as World of Final Fantasy, but it's like kind of a chibi looking art.
Yeah.
Which is perfectly fine. The kind of classic action RPG that Secret of Mana is perfect for 3DS.
Apparently, they've just ripped the battle system straight from Chrono Trigger.
Which is A-okay with me.
Does
Like,
that does this mean if it sells well, we'll get 3D Chrono Trigger?
Or we'll get the true sequel to Chrono Trigger that we deserved, not
Also,
Or
Burger Chrono Cross.
Hi Chad, if you're watching, I'm sorry. I should have you up, but I keep trying to have you up, but my computer is like being a burger, so please don't hate me.
Yeah, don't worry about it. I can look at the chat. I'm warden of these parts. But yeah, I saw the story about the 3D remake of Secret of Mana, and I'm like, this is where you should be putting money, Square. This on games like this, not
So Sean,
burger things.
The only shot that was shown of the Fist of the North Star game was Ken taking a steel beam and basically grand slamming a guy off of a bike, knocking him into orbit.
So this is God Hand.
Yes.
All right, cool. I'm okay with that. I'm
If
okay.
you want to watch it, Sean,
Yeah,
there you go.
link me. I'll watch it after we
Whoops.
done. I see that Control V.
Yeah, whoops.
Beautiful.
Boom! This summer, you will believe a man can fly.
You will believe a man can fly. There we go. I'm going to post that in there for chat. For the people who are actually watching us live, they can follow that quick clip. My apologies for it taking you to Gawker. I know Gawker is trash, but
Yeah, I know.
it's where it was hosted. But anyway.
Sometimes the most beautiful rose grows in the smelliest turd.
Yes, on the thorniest bush. But I think that's a good enough starting place. There we go. We got the news section out of the way. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 44 of the End of the Week podcast. And oh man, what a week it has been. Gamescom's going on this week. We've got Destiny 2 news. We've got Monster Hunter World videos, all kinds of Monster Hunter World videos, as a matter of fact. Monster Hunter Double Cross for the Switch came out. Sonic Mania, we've gotten our hands on it. We've had a chance to play it. We're going to be talking about our experiences with it. There's just so much going on in the gaming community right now that it's been a pretty good couple of weeks, guys. Whew, good stuff. But anyways, we've got our usual roundtable of hosts here. We have got Mr. Blackvox. Yeet. We have got HuntArtists, who is giving you your fine Monster Hunter Double Cross gameplay right now.
I'm Kadai.
You probably are. I mean, you're fighting Diablos. And of course, I am TheBlackLink, and we are going to start things off by talking about some of the games we've been playing for the past week or so. Oh man, you guys have been you've been keeping up with all the gaming news going on out there, just like I have. What have you been doing in your spare time?
Do me last.
I'm doing you first.
Oh,
because you
man.
said do you last. I make the rules here.
Alright, fine. I've been playing Monster Hunter to get myself psyched up for this burger of a game.
Would you like to explain why you think Monster Hunter Double Cross on Switch is a burger?
Okay, so for those of you who don't know, Monster Hunter Generations came out a couple years ago. Fantastic game, amazing game, but right around the same time, Japan announced an expansion for the Japanese version called Monster Hunter Double Cross, which is, it adds G rank and things like that. It's awesome. I played it when it first came out in Japan. Sorry, trying to save my teammate there. It was fantastic. I got all the way through G rank. It's got some really cool stuff that you can do, like armor transmog, so that you can make any set look like any other set. It's awesome. So when they announced that it's coming to the Switch, I was like, oh, great, I can stream it. It's going to be awesome. Can't wait. So it finally came out. I tried to buy some download codes because you cannot actually use your debit card on the Japanese eShop. Even though it's region free, your debit card is still locked to whatever region. Whatever. Tried to get some codes from PlayAsia. They had sold out of all of the correct codes that I could use. Like the game is going to be 6,000 yen, so I had to buy a 5,000 and a 1,000. But the 5,000s were all sold out. Okay, so I bought 6 1,000s. I order it. I wait till the next day. I still don't get my codes. PlayAsia tells me they're all on back order. Digital codes are on back order, but they still charged my debit card, so I paid for codes I can't have. So I went into an email battle with them for a couple hours to no avail. I didn't get my codes, and I still don't have my codes. So then I went to Amazon JP, rebought all the codes. That took another 4 hours for my credit card to go through because it's cross-region. And where the hell did this thing go? Finally, I started inputting my codes. I go to download the game. At 3 o'clock in the morning. This is 3 o'clock in the morning. It took me until then to get this whole thing to work. I finally get it downloaded. I'm like, great. Going to sleep. Wake up. The download had failed. So I start re-downloading it, praying that I get it done in time for the podcast. It finally gets done, and I'm like, all right, all I gotta do is transfer my save data. This is gonna be easy. I get the transfer data tool. Everything's wonderful. I start to transfer my data following a video tutorial. Why did this guy hit the monster? I have a trap.
You're hunting with
Um,
burgers, Nate.
so I start to transfer, an error occurs, and because I tried to transfer from a Japanese account to an English account, which does not work. I did not know that. So I had to go from a Japanese account to a Japanese account. I lose all of my save data for Double Cross. All of it's gone forever. So I had to go back and get my original cross save data, transfer that to Double Cross, then transfer that to the Switch version, and now I'm finally playing. So that was probably close to like 12 hours of agony to play this game, and it's not even kinda as good as World. So that is why this is a burger game. Even though it's fantastic and the game itself did nothing wrong, my experience is forever shattered.
Yeah, I've already spoken a lot about my distaste for the way Nintendo handles, and really a lot of other gaming companies handle these whole out of region purchases. I think it's dumb that you can't use PayPal with Nintendo's eShop to just easily buy things off of the Japanese eShop. I think it's dumb that you have to go through and buy codes from third-party stores to actually be able to buy things on the Japanese eShop. But that experience of going through PlayAsia and then them selling you codes they didn't have, and then having to go through Amazon to buy more, you basically had to buy enough codes for the game twice.
Yep.
Put that stuff into the eShop, finally download it, and then for whatever reason, doing your save transfer from 3DS to Wii U, the game decides, you're on your US Switch account. So even though it's still the Japanese version of the game being played from a US Switch account, we're gonna say you can't transfer your save file from your Japanese game save file to this US account. And I don't understand why it would do that. And then for it to just hang your save up in the ether and not let you re-download it, because it's supposed, we had a conversation about this before the podcast. It's supposed to back your save up when it does this transfer process, just like it did on the 3DS. By the way, I remember now. You are correct, Nate. It did delete your save on 3 Ultimate when you did that. I just have a modified 3DS. I always backed up my save before I did that and then restored it after I swapped it over to Wii U.
Gotcha.
Not to interrupt you, Sean.
I was paranoid about this sort of thing.
Not to interrupt you, Sean, but I believe Nintendo just announced like earlier this week, like 1 or 2 days ago, that they're gonna be adding PayPal.
Oh yeah, they did. No. They did. It doesn't work cross-region. You cannot PayPal from America to a Japanese game.
What do you mean?
I even tweeted this out. I tweeted at Nintendo like, thank God that you're adding PayPal because your credit card system is borked.
Yeah, I saw that tweet, and
you can save your credit card data on your Switch, but every single time you go to reuse it, it tells you that credit card is invalid. Every single time. Yeah. Without fail.
I had the same issue with trying to buy like Sonic Mania. I have to re-go in there and reconfirm and re-put in my details and whatnot. It's just a frustrating situation, and I'm sorry you had to go through so much heartache just to play this game you've already played on the 3DS. Oi, I don't understand why they didn't just release it over here in the US. I really don't get it. That would have solved so many problems because you would have been able to transfer your Japanese save to the US account. It's just a smelly way to L. Very smelly way to L. Well, now that you've got it, man, how is it actually playing?
Fantastic. I mean, it plays just as good as it did on 3DS. Obviously, it's in higher resolution, and it's got some slight visual tweaks to make it a little more user-friendly. It's a little weird not having my touchscreen or 3D to play this game.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, I can't really complain. The only problem is because this is a Japanese game and I'm playing on an American Switch, I can't type in kana, so I have no way to communicate with these people other than, thank God, the presets that I've already got.
That is a massive, massive L. And I could have sworn that when you're playing on a Japanese account, kana is active, right?
Only on a Japanese console.
You're playing on your US account.
Well, no, I'm playing on my Japanese account. It's the console that's overriding it.
That's quite.
What if you changed your system language, or maybe your
I already did.
So it doesn't have katakana or hiragana at all.
Nope. There's no way for me to do it. And like, of course, on the 3DS, it's fine because it's Japanese hardware.
Yeah.
But, no. Well, and I mean, like, that sucks, but whatever. I've got my presets, and if I'm perfectly honest with myself, I don't understand enough Japanese to hold a perfect conversation anyway, so.
Still, just kind of a crazy situation to have to go through just to be able to play the game.
Yep.
I hope it's good. I hope it's fun. I was considering buying Double Cross for the Switch because I want to play it on the big screen, and I always wanted to go through the upper echelons of G rank and whatnot and experience some of the new monsters from Double Cross because I never got through that on the 3DS.
And
but
I mean,
it just seems like so much of a hassle to get into.
You know me. I will shill out for Monster Hunter left, right, up, and down every day and every night, but I cannot with the horrible experience that I had trying to just own this game. I cannot recommend it for importing.
Yeah.
At all.
Oh, I'll just have to sit back and hope that Capcom comes to their senses and announces the game for a US release. Still can't understand why that's not already the case, but
that won't matter in like 7 to 8 months because World's coming out in Q1.
Yeah, but not for Nintendo. It matters for them.
Nope, that don't matter. That's all I need is World.
Yes,
from now on until the end of time.
I am right there with you, John. I want World. I want it now.
I want it now.
It's my world, and I want it now.
It's gonna happen.
Well, why don't we go ahead and move on to Monster Hunter World then? We got to see a lot of brand new gameplay videos coming out of Gamescom for Monster Hunter World. You guys got to see all of them. I only got to see basically a few of them. I didn't watch all the videos. What new was shown off?
Everything.
like a lot of shit.
all the weapons, all the available monsters. It's fantastic. God, where do you even start? Like,
start with your favorite weapon. What new did you see?
Light bowgun so far looks absolutely phenomenal. Sorry, I'm the only one fighting this Diabolus with a heavy bowgun, so I'm like really screwed here. Light bowgun, you can move and shoot. It's got shooter control, so you can aim down the sights with L and fire with R. That's great. It's got this like super fast reload system where, like, with previous Monster Hunters, you could remove the limiter from a light bowgun and it allowed you to load all of your ammunition at once. And in Generations, they added a hunter art that allowed you to load all your ammunition at once. But it looks like in this game, there's a higher emphasis on just like fire, reload, fire, reload, fire, reload, super fast. It's just like bam, reload, bam, reload, bam. Almost like a carbine rifle. Yeah, it's phenomenal, and it looks really, really fun to do. Spread shot got a huge buff. Like I was saying before, like you see some like Blade Master weapons hitting for 5s and 6s every once in a while, but with spread shot, they're hitting with clusters of like 5 or 6 6s. Like it's crazy. And let me just start hitting this monster here. They also added like a mine that you can drop that's whenever you, the monster, or your teammates attack it, it sets off and does non-friendly fire damage. So your friends are not being tossed around by this attack, and the monster is just taking extra damage per attack from anybody on your team.
Okay.
So it's really awesome. Obviously, I have not seen heavy bowgun yet, so it's hard to say which of the two is my favorite, but if I had to guess, light bowgun's gonna make a huge return. I used to be a light bowgun main, and then they burgered it all up for Generations. So
yeah, I remember back in like the Tri days and beyond, you've really always been about the bowgun love, but the game never really treated
it never loved me back.
Yeah, it never really treated you as well as some of the other classes. And it looks like that's really going to be seeing a change with Monster Hunter World, with just how fast-paced the class is going to be playing. I might actually start using bow guns in Monster Hunter World.
I hope so.
But yeah, I saw we got to see a bunch of gameplay for the new weapons and whatnot. I really want to watch the Charge Blade and Dual Sword gameplay. Those are, of course, two weapons that I absolutely love in this franchise, and I haven't seen anything yet. So, John, you've been
check out
it,
this
right?
guy. This is for everybody listening. There's this guy, AREKKZ, Arex. He's got.
Linked him.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, Arex, yeah.
Yeah, he's got weapon tutorials on like all the weapons so far, pretty much. He's just missing heavy bowgun, and I think that's it now.
Right on. So, like I was saying, so John, you've been watching these videos. What's really caught your eye about Monster Hunter World? You've been saying over the past week that this is really the one game you are looking forward to most in the next year.
More than Destiny 2, I am looking forward to this game because
I got a question for you.
Okay, go ahead.
More than Super Mario Odyssey?
Yes. I
Might
know
be
I may
yours.
have just speaking a heretical statement, but I've been looking forward to a console Monster Hunter for so long, since 3 Ultimate, especially to like play with you guys, because we didn't really get to play 3 Ultimate from launch.
Yeah.
We've played like here and there after, I guess, you and I have started, playing games together again, like 2014, 2013, but we never really started on 3 Ultimate, that fresh console Monster Hunter, and just grinded out hours on hours from launch until G rank and high rank and all of that. So that's what I'm looking forward to most, is just hunting with you guys for hours until I drop.
Right, because
me too, man.
Between the three of us, we've spent tens of thousands of hours on Monster Hunter over the course of our gaming lives.
Oh, easy.
And it's the game I truly love getting lost. Like, I think the bare minimum for time spent on Monster Hunter game for me is like at the very least 300 hours, which is huge. That's a huge amount of time.
Let me ask you.
Good.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just gonna say, do you think that it could be a Destiny Call of Duty contender on your channel?
Yeah. I've played more Destiny than I have Call of Duty, or more Monster Hunter than I have Call of Duty or Destiny.
Because I think it scratches that itch of like the looter shooter
kind of thing. It is a looting game.
Yeah, it is. And yeah, at the very heart of Monster Hunter is looting with a desire sensor that hates you. So don't want to go into this with like the approach of a monk. You want for nothing, and you'll get everything.
You deserve nothing.
There you go. You go in thinking you deserve nothing and wanting nothing, and that's how you'll get everything in Monster Hunter. But yeah, Monster Hunter's been one of my favorite game franchises for the past decade, really, and it definitely scratches that looter kind of itch, and I can't wait to get my hands on Monster Hunter World when it comes out early next year.
Yeah. Also, the one thing that they're doing really good for beginners is the fact that in the top right of your screen, there is a list of actions you can do. And once you're in action, the list refreshes. So think of it like a combo list in like a fighting game. It like rotates. So for like new players, like, okay, what do I do after this side slash? Oh, I can do an upward slash. Or I can, if I'm using like a gunning class, they have the actions listed out for you, so you can learn your class effectively, and you can try out all of the combinations and such because of the little action list on the top right. That's the one thing where I looked at it, I said, beginners are going to love this because it will make catching up a lot easier to do. They'll pick a weapon, play with it for about 5-10 minutes, like, okay, I know what to do now. I don't have to sit here just like, what does this button do after this? Does this combo into this? No, it tells you, which is great. Also, Gunlance is amazing, and I love it. You can embed shots into the monster, and they have a delayed explosion.
Oh yeah, it does.
It's like a crag, basically.
Basically, what happens is you jam a stake into the monster. It does heating damage over time to it for a few seconds, and then it explodes, doing massive damage, and that's on a cooldown.
Yeah, and one of the cool things you can do is while you're doing a mount, you can jam the gun lance into the ground and fire off just a big shot, and then it topples the monster. It's just like the force from under its like head, because you're mounting on the head in some situations, and you insert the gun lance, shoot your shot, and I guess the force from the shot kicks the monster up and topples it, and you're just going for big damage, and it makes me happy to look at.
So for those of you who don't know, in previous Monster Hunters, there's a system where if you do aerial attacks, it's actually about to happen on screen, I think. Yeah. If you do aerial attacks to a monster, it builds up a meter that allows you to mount it. And after you you get onto the monster, you get another meter that show, like, if you reach it to the end, you can topple the monster. But in World, what happens is basically once you've done enough mounting damage, you gain the ability to take out your weapon and perform essentially like a mounting super.
Yes.
So for like greatsword, you can like jump to the monster's tail mid-mount and do a level 3 charge and sever the tail while mounting it.
It's so cool. Like they're adding layers on top of previous mechanics while giving certain classes passives, which just invigorates the whole Monster Hunter experience. And since this is going to be a very accessible game, it's going to be very nice to like newcomers and people who want to get into the series. Like I was telling Sean and Nate earlier, I think it's the first Monster Hunter the West has gotten on Xbox.
Yeah.
The last iteration they had was Frontier, the original Frontier, which is like 2008 or something. It was like almost 10 years ago. So it's been a long time coming for some of these consoles, and it's the first Monster Hunter on a Sony console since 3G, I want to say. Or did they have it on PS3?
They put Portable third on PS3.
Okay, yeah. So it's been at least
a while.
5 years since it's been on a Sony console too, because Nintendo's like owned like I guess the big market for Monster Hunter for like 5 years now. It's been a minute.
Mainly because of their mobile platform with 3DS. But
3DS
that's what I was really
big.
going to say. I was going to say Monster Hunter World looks like it's going to be an incredible opportunity for new players to get into the franchise. When you're talking about the kind of little tutorial bit up at the side of the screen telling you what actions you can take next, that is absolutely perfect for a game like this. Monster Hunter is really fun, and it's really great, and it's really well crafted, but it is usually not very new player friendly. Most of the Monster Hunter games that are out right now kind of assume that you've had some experience with the franchise before.
Hell,
like
it's
they
not
don't
even
come in
veteran friendly.
Yeah, it's not even veteran friendly. This game assumes that you know what you're doing.
Exactly.
And assumes you'll figure out how to do the many different combos and whatnot that can be performed with the many different weapon types. Because remember, every single different type of weapon in this game plays completely differently. Completely different.
Assumes you know what Kiriniko is.
Yeah, it assumes you know where the outside wikis are, so you can look up how to make weapons, where to find certain stuff, what missions have what percentage chances of spawns, how to use dual swords, how to use great swords. And so Monster Hunter World looks like it's changing that up again. And it's not going to make the game... It's not going to... I don't know if it'll casualize the game, because it looks like those classic Monster Hunter elements of grinding are still going to be there. But it's certainly making it more open to newer players who have never played a Monster Hunter before. And that is exactly what Capcom needs to do for a big console-based game like this.
I just want to say real quick, there are a lot of comments on these videos that are coming out wondering if the game is being dumbed down. Capcom has stated that this is a demo, and so in order to make it so that people can play the demo to its fullest and still move the line along, because there was like a 6-hour wait to play this game, they made it a little easy.
Easier.
Yeah. So
and you're talking about the demo that people are playing at Gamescom.
Yes, exactly.
They're fighting the big lizard, the Great Jargus or something.
Jagras. Yeah.
Jagras. Yeah. One thing I also wanted to say is, if you're a fan of the Dark Souls or Bloodborne franchises, you need to play this game. Like, it's basically just taking that and giving you it's adding looter to it. I mean, nothing's going to make you just like instantly good, But if you're willing to grind out, learn monster patterns the same way you do in Dark Souls or Bloodborne, and then add a looting element on top of that, if you're willing to take that jump, you will not regret it.
It
And if
scratches that itch. Yeah.
it does. If you have any like content drought with any of your other games, you're just looking for something to play in Q1 of next year, do yourself a favor. Trust me.
If you're waiting for that next Destiny 2 DLC, because you'll already be done with the one that's coming out this December, play Monster Hunter or Monster Hunter World. You'll be good. There you go. Right on. Good stuff.
Can
I think we talked
just
enough.
real quick.
Good.
There's one thing that we neglected to mention.
That was
The ability of the Palico has been unleashed.
Oh yes.
So
John doesn't know.
Your Palico can go out into the wild while you're in a hunt, and it can interact with the environment in several ways. One of which is basically taming small monsters and riding them into battle as mounts.
Yes.
That's
So like
rather large.
imagine like you find a Ludroth somewhere, not a royal Ludroth, just like a little Ludroth. Your Palico can tame it and then ride it into battle and have it attack monsters.
It's goofy.
That's actually kind of dope.
That's incredibly dope.
By the way, Sean, I linked Longsword and Charge Blade down low, so you can watch those when you want to.
Donka.
I figured those would be the two weapons you would want to see.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
I'll link those over to the people who are in chat right now so they can go and check that out too. But right on, man. Good stuff. So yeah, Monster Hunter World, I'm super psyched about it. Can't wait to watch some more gameplay from it. Jump on into it. And I'm kind of mad that we have to wait until next year to play it.
Yeah.
I'm willing to wait just so it's good.
Yeah,
Bring
seriously.
back my man's Lao Shan. I
Hey,
know he's there.
They brought that back to Double Cross.
It's got to be either Lao Shan or some like permutation of him. Kind of like Daren Moran and Jen Moran.
Oh, my man's Lao Shan back.
Yeah, he's in Double Cross for the Switch, John.
What do you mean?
Yep, that's right. Now you got to get.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah.
No. Yep.
But all right, moving on
true.
from there. It's a truth is what it is, and you just have to deal with it. But moving on from there, what do you guys say we talk a bit about Sonic? Game from another gaming company that has done a pretty good job. All right, so Sonic Mania came out. What was it? The week before last week? Been out for 2 weeks.
Not this Friday, but last Friday, I think.
Right. And Nate, you and I have played it. I assume you've played it to completion.
I have played it extensively. I have collected all of the emeralds as Sonic alone, Tails alone, Sonic and Tails, and I'm on my way to getting them as Knuckles.
Right on. So let's talk a bit about Sonic Mania. First off, give our overall thoughts of the I felt Sonic Mania is a perfect callback to that classic era of Sonic. It kind of encapsulates the pinnacle of the experience back in like games like Sonic 2, Sonic CD, Sonic 3, and Knuckles, while also showing a bit of love to some of the newer styles of Sonic. But really, this game is a love letter. It's a love letter to classic Sonic, and you see that in a lot of the references that are just sprawled throughout the game, because there's tons of them. There are tons of them, whether it's the special stage giant rings from Sonic 3, or the blue stages from the blue sphere stages from Sonic 3, the isometric Chaos Emerald stages, which are kind of like Sonic 3D Blast, or even some of the bosses that you fight in the game. This game is all about that classic Sonic experience. It was designed in part by, Christian Whitehead, who is very famous for making excellent Sonic fan games. I don't know if we'll ever get another game like Sonic Mania, but I think this is exactly what the franchise needed right now.
It's definitely like a kick in the pants, I think. Because there was, 2017 was kind of the year of, was Sonic ever good to begin with? And this proves that it was. Like, it always was good. It still is good, and it can keep being good so long as people keep making it good.
And everything about the game is fantastic. It's beautiful dodge on that Bushido, by the way. It, of course, it incorporates older stages as well as newer stages and kind of mixes things up. I love the way it handles Act 1 being like an older stage of Green Hill Zone, and then Act 2 being a new version of Green Hill Zone that varies based on who you're playing as. Like, I love that Knuckles stages are a little bit different from Sonic or Tails is stages. I love of course the graphical style is basically an updated version of the, what was it, 16-bit, or was the Genesis 8-bit?
16.
16-bit of the 16-bit style from back then. The music is untouchable in how good it is.
I don't know if you guys caught it yesterday, but T. Lopes, the composer for the entire game, or most of the game, actually held a live stream last night where in about 2 hours he created a fully realized Sonic-esque theme made out of nothing but free samples he found on the internet. And it's glorious. I'll try to find you guys a link after I'm done with this fight, but the man is a god.
Yeah, that dude's incredible. So yeah, gameplay wise, it plays smooth just like a classic Sonic experience. The stages are fresh. Some of them are really creative. I think in particular, the Chemical Plant Zone, the boss of Act 2 on that zone, is probably one of the most creative and awesome callbacks I think I've ever seen in a video game. For those who don't know, minor spoiler here. The boss of Chemical Plant Zone Act 2 is literally a recreation of Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine. And
which is just the Sega version of Puyo Puyo.
Yeah, it's the Sega version of Puyo Puyo, which was the Japanese version of Tetris. And it's an absolutely incredible moment. And there's so many different moments like that, so many different moments of creativity. I can't remember the name of it. Was it Mirage Town or something like that? The Western stage? Mirage Saloon. That was one of the coolest stages in the game. It starts out as being a stage similar to the ones in Sonic 2 where you're on the tornado flying around. And then it turns into this Western style, Dylan's Rolling Western-esque kind of map where you're jumping into guns and being shot across a desert, and then you're fighting one of the main bad guys. You can just transform into other characters using different abilities. It's such a creative game.
Did you know that Knuckles actually has his own unique act? You remember how he's flying on the tornado with you and then he gets knocked off?
And he crashes.
If you play as Knuckles, he gets his own Act 1 all to himself. You just play he's the only way to actually access the ground version of Act 1.
And it's cool. This game is just filled with little creative notions like that, and I love it, man. I love it. What did you think of it?
I think it's amazing. I find myself like this is the tell of an amazing game. Like occasionally I'll find myself bored, and then I realize that I'm playing Sonic Mania. Like I realize that I'm bored, and then I look down and I've already picked up and subconsciously just started playing Sonic Mania to have fun.
Yeah, it's the game you just find yourself playing.
Exactly. Don't let me forget, there's a little tidbit about the ending of the game that I want to mention. It doesn't really fit in here yet, but I want to talk about it. But yeah, it's got easily the best Chaos Emerald hunting stage of all time. Like
absolutely.
I've always found the Chaos Emeralds to be a chore to get. It's always been tedious and like bordering on non-fun, especially in Sonic CD. It's garbage in CD. But in this game, they made it work. The difficulty scaling isn't bad. Like the first 3 emeralds are easy to get, and then everything after that is an appropriate challenge. It's fantastic. I love it. They brought back Blue Spheres, which is the special stage from 3, as a bonus game that brilliantly it's not required to complete the game or anything. It's just if you complete them and complete them perfectly, you unlock bonuses. Like, spoilers, being able to use Sonic's abilities across various games, like the Super Peel Out from CD or the Insta Shield from 3. You unlock things like Knuckles in Knuckles mode, where you can play as Knuckles or with Knuckles as Sonic, or you unlock the soundtrack and like art galleries and things like that. It's incredible. Like, more games need to do this. It's fun to unlock stuff, whereas before it was just like kind of play for playing's sake. So, and the game it handles that. In that classic play to unlock special features to come back and play through maps with those features on. And
it works really well for Sonic Mania because it does incorporate some of those classic elements. Playing blue spheres gets you the special abilities from previous Sonic games. Getting the giant rings gets you the Chaos Emerald, so you can turn into Super Sonic or Hyper Knuckles
By the
or
way,
Tails.
like one of the most radical supersonic themes.
Yeah, it's pretty. It's pretty cool in this game. I'm glad it wasn't just the main theme kind of listlessly repeated like it was kind of in Sonic 4 and whatnot.
No, they took the
But
main theme and they just sexed it.
yeah, they sexed it all up for you because they knew that's what you wanted from your Sonic fanfic.
Sex.
But
yes.
I love the special stages because they're super fun. It's really creative. It's something that was completely unexpected. It took elements, like I said, from Sonic 3D Blast and like Sonic CD with the UFOs and whatnot, and just kind of meshed it into one 3D little race where you're catching a Chaos Emerald that's being tugged by a UFO. And it's just a good system overall.
It's also like just a fun story. Like
it is, yeah.
The story is basically like Dr. Robotnik plays with something he shouldn't and turns 6 robots into super robots, and you gotta go stop them. Like, that's the plot. It's not Dr. Robotnik unearthed an evil power, and like he's going to go back in time to kill a princess, but the princess is the reason why Sonic was born in the first place. Can you like, come on, man.
It's not Sonic 06.
Can you, are you a rad enough dude to save the president's daughter? Like, no, I'm a blue hedgehog. Please just let me run.
Yeah, and the game does that. It's definitely got some of those classic Sonic caveats that can be a little bit frustrating, where you get onto a roll, you're running, it feels great, you're going through loop to loops, you're jumping around, and then in classic Sega and Sonic fashion, they put an enemy like directly in your path that would completely stop your momentum, or like a little leap where you run into a wall and it's like, oh, that joy of just moving forward and just holding right trigger and running just gets immediately soured a bit. And I think for people who never really played some of the older Sonic games, I think that definitely interfered with their experience a little bit. I saw a lot of people complaining about that, like, man, why would you make just such a fun track to run on and then stop me from running on it? And I was like, well, yeah, that's a thing from the old classic Sonic game.
Yeah.
But
I just want to say real quick, that's something that, like, I 100% agree that this game still has it.
Yeah.
But like at the same time, like they can almost all, like in almost all circumstances, be circumvented. And that's part of what makes the game fun. I see a lot of people very quickly going like, well, why isn't the game like Sonic Rush, where it's just like a straight A to B dash to the finish? Like, well then you wouldn't have a game anymore.
That wouldn't be a game.
Yeah. So if you're playing Sonic Mania and you find like, oh man, I'm hitting all these road bumps, like what do I do? Like, am I just playing wrong? No, you're playing right. Just like get good though. Like don't
learn the map. Yeah,
it's okay to be frustrated. Just don't blame the game too much.
I mean,
I know, because I was the exact same way when I first did it. I had the worst case. Like, I don't know if anybody here caught my first Sonic Mania stream. I won't even put it on my YouTube. I'm like embarrassed of it. I was so salty because I'm such a huge Sonic fan, so I was like, my brain was like, oh, I'm gonna be amazing immediately, and I wasn't. And so I kept hitting stuff and getting frustrated, and then after watching it I realized like, wow, I gotta just like stop being a burger and play the game right. And once I learned how to do that, I started having fun immediately. So
and it is a very fun game, and I think it's a very well crafted game. I don't think it's a perfect game.
Oh no.
I do believe there are some issues that we can get into very quickly. Specifically one, I think the transition from, well, it should be noted, I'm playing this game on Nintendo Switch, and when you play this on the Switch using portably, it's fantastic. It fits perfectly on the screen. It's like a classic experience come to life. When you play it on the big screen, it causes a few issues, and maybe we'll see if you've had some of the same problems here. Okay. But with specifically the special stages, the blue sphere stage on the big screen, that causes all kinds of vertigo.
Yeah,
because it's with it blown up on that screen and how zoomed in it is, it causes a bit of motion sickness when you're running around from that isometric view. And
The
I
turns
think
are
for that
so sharp, and
they
there's
are.
no like motion tweening or blurring or anything like that. It's just zip, 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 and then barf.
Yeah, and that can be really disorienting. I streamed the game a couple of times, and a couple of people who were watching the stream basically confirmed that for me because I was like, man, this on the when I was playing on the Switch in handheld mode, it was fine because it's a smaller screen. But when I have it blown up on my big 4K monitor, it's kind of hard to look at because of how zoomed in it is during the special stage and how disorienting that is based on the overhead camera and how quickly you're zipping around through these turns. It can definitely trigger a little bit of motion sickness, and I kind of just wish they would have zoomed it out a little bit more if you were playing if you were playing, you know, on TV mode. Also, I think I think some of the challenges could have been tweaked a little bit more. We talked a bit about some of the stage hazards and how it can kind of impede your forward going motion, and I think that that's a bit of a problem.
Yeah.
But some of the special stages, like the Chaos Emerald special stages, they did get a little bit wonky. For the most part, they're all really fun, and once you get the hang of the track that you're on, it's usually pretty easy to complete them. But there were a couple of glitches I ran into on one or two of them where I fell through the map on one a couple of times. There was another time where I think it might have been Chaos Emerald Stage 3. There's a section on there where there's a gap and there's a ring box above it. And I jumped to get the ring box and I hit it and it bounced me, but I didn't fly forward. I just kind of fell through the ring box and got stuck on the map, and like it never ended. The camera just like zoomed up into the sky and stayed on the special stage, and I was just stuck there until I had to close the game out.
Yeah,
So
you're not the only person who got that.
yeah, I saw some people talking about that online, but it was it's a game that's certainly got a couple of issues to its name. It's not a perfect game, but as when it comes to Sonic experiences, I think this is easily the best Sonic experience, the best pure Sonic experience we've gotten in a very, very long time. And if you're a fan of the old school Sonic game at all, if you're a fan of old school platformers at all, you should absolutely be picking up Sonic Mania. It is such a good game, such a good game.
I agree.
Easily worth a buy. And everything about it is nostalgic. Everything. It's such a classic love letter to the old school Sonic days that I really cannot recommend it enough. If you grew up during that Sega Genesis era, if you had any of those old school Sonic games, you will find something to love in Sonic. It's just such a well-crafted game, such a well-crafted, lovingly crafted experience that I cannot recommend it enough to Sega fans out there.
And before we move on from that, I just want to real quick point out, fans have discovered that it's actually tied to Sonic Forces.
I knew it would be.
Yeah. So people believe now that Infinite, this is perhaps spoilers, but it's also theory crafting, so who cares? People believe that Infinite is actually the chaos to the Phantom Ruby. He like is the spirit of the Phantom Ruby or whatever, because like during his trailer, you can actually hear that sound that the Phantom Ruby makes in Mania. You can hear him making it. And also the pose from Sonic is exactly the same at the end of Sonic Mania as it is in the Sonic Forces trailer.
Those two games are connected. It's gonna happen.
Yeah, so
we know it to be true. That's the conspiracy theory right now.
Yeah, some people are saying it's a corrupted Sonic. Some people are saying it's Mephiles from Sonic 06. Other people are just saying that it's just the Phantom Ruby's persona. I hope it's not corrupted Sonic or Mephiles because ew.
As long as it's not Mephiles, I don't care. We could have what's his name from the comic pop his face out of there, Interjack, and I'll accept that.
Yo, Interjack though. I'll take Interjack.
Yeah, I'll take that over Mephiles any day of the week. But all right, that's my spiel on Sonic Mania. A fantastic game. Pick it up. Plays really, really well. If you can handle some of the jank of a classic Sega Genesis game, you'll love it. You'll love it. Anything else you want to say about it, Nate?
No, I'm good.
Right on. So moving on to what's next? I guess we're still talking about games we've been playing this week. John, you got anything to say there?
No.
Or did you die? Wait you're waiting for Monster Hunter World to come out before you can res.
That's actually all I've been playing this week is Resident Evil 5.
Yes, big. Yeah, you got that on a PS4, right?
And I quickly uninstalled it. So the thing that happened with that, and I didn't realize, is that Sony's weird PSN, where you can't have two accounts play online. Well, not online. Basically, PSN makes things a lot harder than they need to be. And I guess the Xbox Ones have the same trouble, because I was reading up about it. And I'm being very ambiguous, and I'm sorry about it. But I have to preface that if you plan on playing through Res 5 and you want to play couch co-op, don't do it unless you have the original 360 version. Because apparently this has been a thing since PS3, and it has persisted all the way up until the Xbox One and the PS4 versions. So I'll just cut to the chase. Inventory does not carry over to both players. For you to play co-op, you have to transfer your guns to player one. They have to upgrade them and then give them back to you. You can't upgrade them, and you don't have your own currency pool either. On the 360 version, you could upgrade your own guns. You didn't have to ship them over to player one, and you had your own gold pool or your currency pool. So when you picked up a piece of gold or you picked up some treasure, it would go straight to your stash. It wouldn't go to just player one. In the new, I guess, relaunch or the re-release or the remaster, player one is the only player that matters. They have the only currency pool, and they can do, and they're the only ones that can do anything with it. That is a huge flaw and a huge problem, and it's been a thing since the game launched around this time last year. So when Andrew and I bought it for PS4, we figured, okay, this is just going to be like the good old days. We'll just sign it on 2 accounts and we'll get to it. We play through the first stage. We have a blast. We go to the organized page where we organize our guns, herbs, ammo, all that sort of thing before the next chapter. And we're looking at it, and I say, dude, I can't upgrade my handgun. Like, what's going on? Like, I don't know what's going on. Like, why can't I upgrade? And then I did some research on it, and I was met with the grim realization that this game doesn't do that. Player one has the only currency pool, and they're the only ones that can upgrade, even if you're playing co-op.
What a dumb way to do a co-op system.
Capcom burgered it up. So if you're going to play Res 5, moral of the story throughout that entirely drawn out explanation, play it on 360.
just actually, is it on Xbox One backwards compatibility?
It's on Xbox One re-release, and I don't know if it's backwards compatible.
I don't know if it helps you at all, but if you play on PC, I don't think there's that problem.
Well, I don't have a PC that's capable of running games, Nate. All I've got is a poopy laptop.
Rip
Just
a
saying.
dip.
Yeah, I remember that being a problem with the PS4 version, I think.
Yeah, that's what he's flying.
So we just said, screw it. We're going to go back and play the Xbox 360 version. Andrew dug out his old Xbox and said, I found it. and he held up the game, and I was like, let me see it. Let's play it. We loaded up our save files, and we had everything. We were just like, this is fine.
That's funny. It's a better experience to go back and play the Xbox 360 version than it is to play the PS4 version. Oh, they messed up. Is that it?
That's about it. I've been mostly just focusing on like school and just playing Res here and there with Andrew every time we chill.
And waiting for Destiny 2.
Yeah, basically just trying to play something here and there until Destiny 2. I'm not trying to like get invested into anything.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I start something like Witcher or get really invested into something like Deus Ex or like continue my save files in those, I feel like it'll be something I will never pick up again.
I mean, well, I mean, whatever. 10 days. We've got 10 days to go until Destiny 2 is officially out, and I cannot wait to get my hands on it.
Eat.
All right. Well, on my end of things, I've been playing quite a few things, you know. We've got the most importantly, I think, is probably the Call of Duty World War II beta. That went live a day or so ago, and I've been playing it for the past 2 days. And I guess I'd have to say it's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's a pretty good beta. It's definitely got its issues, sledgehammer issues. The hit markers are a little bit wonky right now. They could probably stand to change their net coding a little bit. Submachine guns feel a little weak, but the overall system of boots on the ground, I think it plays well. It's a lot slower than the CODs everybody's used to, because we're used to like Black Ops 3 and Infinite Warfare and all those extremely fast moving Call of Duties. So going to something much slower is it's definitely jarring. And I think one of the most jarring aspects of it is the fact that you don't have infinite sprint. And as a matter of fact, you have very limited sprint in COD World War II. You can sprint for like a max of maybe 4 seconds before your soldier stops and you get sprint locked. And I think that's a frustrating thing. I think they should probably extend that time. If they're not going to give everybody infinite sprint, then they should probably extend that time a bit, because it's a very frustrating experience to move around the battlefield so slowly. And just kind of the way the game is balanced, maybe it's just me, but the way the game is balanced makes it kind of frustrating to rush. It's definitely not a rusher's COD.
It's because the maps are hot garbage.
Not all of them. Some of them are decent, but like
the maps, from what I've seen, there are so many flank routes. It is hot garbage if you try and rush.
There are a lot of flank. Outside of war mode, of course, which is the objective-based game. We'll talk more about that in a second. But that's a lot more directed in like a classic FPS style, where you have enemy spawn, your spawn, and then you have basically a mid arena, and then the mid arena will have flank options, but then areas behind the mid arena that are pretty direct. But for the most part, there's a lot of flank routes in the normal multiplayer maps. And a lot of head glitches. There's a lot of head glitches in Call of Duty World War II. So you kind of have to get used to a lot of people, going down prone with, like Thunder used to say, with their dick in the dirt, trying to catch you coming around a corner. And thankfully, I've played a lot of Modern Warfare Remastered, which is pretty known for that. So it wasn't too much of an adjustment for me to come to World War II. When it works well, it's a fun game. It plays pretty well. I think gun balance is all right. Submachine guns probably need to be tuned a little bit. They definitely feel super duper weak. Assault rifles
funny because I've heard that the two of the most powerful guns are the Type 100 and the PPSH. Like
PPSH is one of the top guns when you have it maxed out.
Okay.
Which takes forever, because you need advanced rifling, which is basically rifled barrel on it. And you need something like rapid fire or extended mags. The Type 100 is pretty good, but damage fall off for submachine guns is really harsh in World War II. It is really harsh. And generally, anywhere outside of close to mid range, you're going to be completely outshot by an STG with rapid fire, because assault rifles get rapid fire in this game. That makes me extremely happy, because I like rapid fire on my assault rifles.
How do you feel about the different classes, like infantry and the other ones? I forget what the others like.
That was like a lot to get used to. Yeah, that was a lot to get used to. So, okay, rather than having a create a class that allows you to pick and choose like all of your perks and all of your abilities, you have what's called divisions, and the divisions are infantry, airborne, expeditionary, and I think mountain. Infantry is like the assault rifle perk, and you can run any division and use any weapon, but you'll get special benefits for weapons if you're running a matching division. So like infantry is the assault rifle bonus division. If you're running an assault rifle while you're in the division class, your assault rifle will automatically have a bayonet attached to it, so you can get one-shot melee kills. I think it also has like a latent ability that you unlock on infantry that either helps you reload faster with assault rifles or gives you more latent ammo with them or something like that. But the division system, it's kind of interesting. I actually don't hate it, because it's basically like a subclass more than anything else, John. I think that'd be the easiest way to to explain it. Divisions are like subclasses with special benefits that you get for leveling up those divisions. Like right now, my favorite is probably Airborne, which is the SMG division. It's the division that gives you the latent ability to move faster, to sprint longer, to mantle things faster. And when you fully level that division up, you get like a classified SMG. You get a special SMG that you can only unlock if you max out that division. For like the shotgunner division, that's the that's the expeditionary. They come with a latent ability that causes your first 4 shots with a shotgun to be incendiary dragonfire shells, which is probably one of the coolest things I've experienced in a Call of Duty game for a while. They're not exactly the most useful thing, but it's a really unique way to handle that class. You can run shotguns on other divisions, but you won't get those 4 incendiary shells that you can utilize to basically burst fire a whole area and set everybody within a set distance ahead of you on fire. And also Drifter, I think, thinks they're broken, but who knows? We'll have to see. Mountain division is your sniper division. That's the one that you're talking about is kind of stealthy, John. Its special ability is that it's immune to UAVs. That's Ghost for this game. There's no perk for Ghost. There you have to be on the mountain division in order to stay invisible to UAVs and whatnot. And like leveling that division up, first off gives you basically Ghost for no UAVs. I think leveling up to level 3 gets you blind eyes, so score streaks will no longer be able to see you and stuff like that. So like I said, rather than being able to put those kind of old school top tier perks on a class, they're tied to a division, which is like a subclass that you just basically assign yourself to and level up with. Now there are still perks and stuff that you can equip in the game, stuff like Scavenger and whatnot that you can still equip on your character modification screen, but the way they swapped it up, it's really interesting and really different. It's definitely way different from anything we've experienced in COD before. But I think for the overall theme of the game, it being in World War II, I think it works. It's kind of like they took the system from Battlefield and made a lighter version of it. But I mean, it plays all right. It's a pretty good COD game. It's classic boots on the ground, like everybody has been clamoring for the past couple of years. And if you remember, John, I made a prediction to you like a year or so ago, talking about how everyone in the gaming community seems to be saying they want boots on the ground. You remember that?
Mm-hmm.
And I said, I think I know what's going to happen when we finally get a boots on the ground COD. We've had this kind of boost jumping fast movement system for so long. People are going to get into this boots on the ground COD, and they're all going to treat it like Modern Warfare Remastered, where they decide, you move too slow, you die too quick. I'm going to sit in a corner with my dick in the dirt and head glitch. And if the beta is anything to be to take inspiration from, it looks like that's going to be the case. There's going to be a lot of boost jumping babies who have a lot to get used to when they move into COD World War II, because it is a fundamentally different beast. It's got potential, though. I think it's, like I said, I've mostly enjoyed my time on it. And I really enjoy the theme. I really enjoy the weapons. I think the shotguns are fantastic in it. The double barrel, or the triple barrel is probably one of my favorites. And thankfully, Sledgehammer Games seems to be paying attention to some of the complaints. I think Michael Condrey took to Twitter the other day to say that, yeah, keep complaining about things, because this was the time to do it. This is the time to go on and tell us what needs to be changed so that we can have it ready to roll in a couple of
and not wait till August to start.
Yeah.
Be like, where
submachine guns need to be buffed. This LMGs are kind of burger because they all fire kind of like the sweet business in Destiny. LMGs are super weird in this game. They once they get going, they shred pretty quickly, but they're all like sweet business from Destiny 2, where they start firing really, really slowly, and the draw times on them are super slow. So they basically really encourage you to play an LMG as somebody who's going to sit back with a bipod, drop that thing on the ground, and just like keep firing until somebody walks in front of you. Really suppressive fire base, which is interesting. I don't know if it should be that way in the final game, but we'll have to see. Other than that, I've enjoyed my time on it. I think the new war game mode is really, really cool. It's an objective-based game mode where you've got an attack and a defense side, and then you have to go through this map that sequentially changes different. You sequentially go through this map that gives you different objectives, and the different objectives incorporate different game modes. So like there's a search and destroy section of the game mode. There's a hard point section of it. The game mode of war we have in the game right now starts with this. You have the defending side, you have the assault side. The first phase of the game is hardpoint. The defend side has to go into this hardpoint and basically keep the assault side out of it. And when the assault and you have like 3 or 4 minutes to as the assault group to move in and take over that hardpoint, and fill up a little meter or something before the defending team calls in reinforcements and wins that round. If you manage to take that hard point, it moves on to the next phase where the people who are defending now have to fall back to a destroyed bridge that they now have to defend and make sure that you don't rebuild. So the assault team takes the hard point and they have to move on to the bridge section and rebuild this bridge while the defending team is bunkered into these buildings that have really great sniper lanes on the bridge. So it really becomes kind of like an Omaha Beach moment where the defending team is encamped in these bunkers just barreling down fire at an assault team that's moving in, and the assault team's at a massive disadvantage. You just kind of have to keep throwing bodies at this objective until you can finally complete it. And then if the assault team can manage to build the bridge, then the defending team has to fall back to their final, well, actually not their final yet, but they have to fall back to their next area where they have to protect this armory. And then the game mode becomes search and destroy, where the assault team has to get into this area that can be fortified by building up defenses and stuff around it. Think like Fortnite or any of those survival games out there. And the assault team has to break into this area, like search and destroy, set a bomb on this armory, and then protect the bomb until it goes off. And then if the assault team manages to do that, then it moves on to the final phase of the game where the defense team is basically on their last legs and they have to protect this HQ while the assault team gets a tank and has to escort this tank to the HQ section. It's a really cool, fun game mode that's completely focused on objective. Kills and deaths don't matter at all. They don't even show you what your KD ratio is at the end of the game. They don't even show you how many deaths you had because you're encouraged to, if you're on the assault team, kind of throw bodies at the situation until you get the objective done. And I think it's a really interesting, really fun game mode that I can't wait to see more of because, of course, we only get one map with it. I'm really, really hoping that they have like an Omaha Beach map for the war mode because I think that'd be super cool to just have the defending team playing the Germans encamped in like these bunkers with machine guns while the assault team is just kind of trying to push their way up Omaha Beach. I don't know, stuff like that, thematic stuff like that in multiplayer really wets my whistle. I think it's the coolest thing in the world. And it's game modes like that when played properly with a team that's actually running the objective. It really gives me hope for World War II, for COD World War II, in that it can be a really fun, really unique experience. And I've seen that shine through over the course of the beta. And I really hope that's the focus they go with the full game. But if the beta is any indication, it's definitely got its issues. Like I said before, matchmaking is a little burger. Hit detection can be on and off. It's sledgehammer hit detection. I don't know why all 3 COD studios don't just rip Infinity Ward's hit detection and put it into all their games because it's clearly the best of the 3 right now.
You mean old school Infinity Ward?
Yeah, well, definitely old school Infinity Ward, but current Infinity Ward hit detection, like the hit detection in Infinite Warfare, is way better than Black Ops 3 and way better than COD World War II. Mm-hmm. But when the game plays smoothly, it's a fun experience. I think it's got a lot of potential, and if you get the chance to play the beta, John, I'd recommend it. I would.
I probably won't, to be honest with you.
Well, I mean, I think the open beta is what, next week?
Is it?
Maybe. Sometime around then. I don't know. Open beta might be coming out a little bit too close to Destiny 2, so it might have better things to do by then.
Don't care.
But I think COD World War II has been. I think it's got the potential to be something special if they can kind of iron out some of these issues that are popping up in the beta right now. But all right, that's it. That's it for my monologue on COD World War II, and that's it for all the games I've been playing this week. What else we got?
I think Nate died.
I'm here.
Okay, Nate is living.
Back to life. Rip. He not sleep.
Just letting you guys talk.
We've got Jak and Daxter. That remastered came out a couple days ago. That's cool. That's neat. It came out
Unbeknownst to no one.
Yeah, little to no fanfare. They just kind of released Jak and Daxter. It's like, okay, Naughty Dog, you have another bigger game in Uncharted: The Lost Legacy coming out this week, but it's cool to also release Jak and Daxter. I mean, if you're trying to put a feeler out there to see if you could do something similar to Crash Bandicoot's revival, you could have done a better job than this. Scratch his chin. But yeah, Nate, are you getting Lost Legacy?
Undoubtedly at some point.
Yeah.
I have too much to play right now to buy it.
Good problem to have.
Yeah.
Very good problem to have.
We got Monster Hunter World coming out, or not Monster Hunter World. Monster Hunter Stories coming out the 9th.
Mm-hmm.
So I better buy it.
Won't be playing it.
Too busy in Destiny.
Yep, it'll be Destiny 2 season.
Right.
That's a shame for you.
It is, but also a good thing because John got to see a little bit of that Destiny 2 patrol these past couple of days. No, you don't. You love it. You super happy about that Destiny 2 patrol because it looks good. So much information has come out over the course of Gamescom this past week. We got a really comprehensive look at patrol and whatnot. And while I'm not going to get into that right now, man, does Destiny 2 look like it's going to be everything I wanted it to be, at least from exploration, from the approach of exploration there with the patrols, man. It looks like it's going to be super duper fun. Super duper good stuff. But all right, if that's everything, anybody else got anything they'd like to talk about?
I'd like to talk about how hot it is in here and how I'd like to run my AC.
Do it. I don't know why you stream without having your AC on.
I'm gonna have to when I stream, but for the podcast, I like to have it off.
No, turn it on. Living is more important than.
I'll wait until the podcast is over. I think I can last another couple minutes.
Well, then let's make it quick for you. I think that's a good enough stopping place. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. This has been episode 44 of the End of the Week podcast. Next week is going to be a big one. It'll be the, if we have a podcast next week, it'll be the final podcast before the launch of Destiny 2. Should be absolutely massive. And then the week after that, oh man, make sure you guys are staying tuned because it is going to be a ton of stuff coming out on the channel. But all right, before we get on out of here, you guys know we like to let you know where you can find us across the internet and what we've got coming up. I get the feeling I know what his answer is going to be, so we're going to start with Mr. HuntArtist. Where can they find you, man? What you got coming up this week?
Monster Hunter and Sonic Mania on the streams are going to be a thing. I don't know when, but I will be updating via Twitter. If you're interested in that, please join. I'm going to be hosting open lobbies. So if you did somehow manage to get a copy of this game and you're like, oh man, I wish I could play with some people that speak my language, I'll be hosting some stream/world lobbies, so feel free to join. And you can find me on Twitter at HuntArtist.
Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube, all at HuntArtist. But don't worry, if you don't feel like looking for that, and you're here on the live stream, you can actually check the description box beneath this video. There's a link to HuntArtist channel down there. You should be able to get to there through that link. Right on, John. What you got going on, man?
You can follow me at Zavala's Big Burgers on Twitter.
Only the biggest.
That's
when
about
you getting when are those incompetent apes upgrading your internet so you can start making content?
The 5th.
Smell a day before Destiny 2.
Supposedly, they'll probably push it back another 2 weeks. Like it was supposed to be installed July.
Yeah.
It's almost September.
Yep.
They've been pushing it back week after week. It's like, I don't know, man. Do you want to lay down that much cord? I don't know, man. Do you want to lay down that much cord? They're like, no. Let's just keep pushing it back until they just cancel it.
Perhaps just one more. Right on. And of course, I am TheBlackLink. You can find me pretty much everywhere on the internet, Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube, all at TheBlackLink. This week, we have got some good stuff. We're going to have a lot of Call of Duty World War II beta footage going up. The Destiny 2 PC beta starts on Monday. I will be streaming that and making videos for it right here on the channel, so make sure you're staying tuned. Also, make sure you're staying tuned over to the Planet Destiny YouTube channel, where we will be continuing our coverage of everything we've come to learn about Destiny 2. But all right, that's it for this one, guys. Thanks so much for watching the EOTW podcast, where every day is the end of the week. We'll catch you guys in the next one.
Oh boy.
Not going to end this stream until Nate beats this monster.
That's fair. It's not gonna happen though. I'm using a really burger hammer. Like, it's literally just a Gammoth hamburger.
Rip. What made you go offline? Couldn't find a room?
I accomplished what I wanted to.
Big. Yo, you got your Diablos hunts done and whatnot?
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Also, I'm playing, for those of you watching and wondering why Nate sucks so bad right now, I'm playing off of my Elgato capture. So, there's like a 1.5 second delay.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I've been playing this well the whole time with a 1.5 second input delay, so...
What happened to your second monitor?
Well, first of all, my computer just, like, wasn't running well enough to begin with. But, like I said before, it just doesn't play well when I don't have two monitors that are the same, resolution. And
You just gonna have to deal with that, man, because I deal with the same thing.
yeah, well, I'm gonna buy another 4K monitor at some point.
That's
Can we end the recording so I don't have to upload a big file?
Yes. You can stop your recording in 3, 2,
Wait, hang on.
1.
No,
Okay.
no.
Now?
Okay,
I already started.
go for it.
I mean, I already stopped. I don't think it matters at that point.
All right, then I'm at 1:15:51.
That is good.
Now
That
I'm gonna
is
say it one more
only
time
20
so that
seconds off.
I'm gonna say this one more time so that tomorrow you don't tell me where did 10 minutes of your footage go. 1:15:51.
1:15:51. I'm at 1:16:12. I continued my audio after you guys said you stopped, so that's fine. Perfect.
I'm at 1:16:06.
That'll work. 20 seconds. I can take that. I can deal with that.
I'm saving this file as this better work. That MP3.
This better work. That MP3.
Yeah, that is causing me undue stress I don't need.
Yeah, Duke. He's got to play off Elgato, which is like a second or two delay. That I do not envy that. Although you have the HD60 Pro, right?
Yeah, no, I mean it's running great. It's just there's like every once in a while there's like a second or so delay.
Spooky.
Because I'm also streaming and so.
All right, time for the fresh dip. Lunch. I'm hungry as a mug, and I'm going to grab something.
Same here. Good stuff.
All right.
Go for it,
Thanks
guys.
for watching, everybody. Love your faces.
I'm going to leave the stream up for a few minutes, guys, just so I can finish this hunt, and then I'll take it down, and then I'll check the comment section, make sure there's nobody trying to kill me.
No,
my incompetence.
I'll be here. Watching. Waiting.
And my stamina manages to run out like a half a second before I hit the monster every time.
That's the glory of Hammer, dude.
Yeah, I'm playing Bushido, or not Bushido, Brave Hammer right now. And Brachydios is the perfect hammer fight. Charlie, no, why would you do this to me? Ah, man.
Let's see.
Ooh, yep. Got ya.
I believe in you. You can do it.
Oh, I know I'll do it. Just not gonna be as stylish as I'd like.
Yeah, everybody tries to style on stream. Sometimes it just doesn't happen, man.
Yeah. Yeah, this delay's got me bopped. Ugh. Oh. Alright, at least I reached brave mode. Alright, here we go.
I might need another rundown of how exactly that works.
So basically you just like try to fill up your brave meter, and then once you do, you unlock a bunch of really cool combos, as well as the ability to basically short dash with most weapons rather than roll.
Yeah.
And that can be comboed into. With Hammer, what it does is it chains your charge attacks. So usually you would do your charge attack, and then that ends your attack, and you have to charge up another one. But what you do with Brave Style is you charge a level 1, you hit them with the level 1, you charge a level 2, you hit them with the level 2, you charge a level 3, you hit them with the level 3.
Okay, that's easy enough to understand.
Yeah, it's really neat. So it's like basically doing a 1, 2, 3, but they're all charged hits, and they're back to back to back. Nice, Charlie. Thank you. Oh, you're my hero. Here we go. Bininganova. Got him. That was the one.
Good job. Nice shot.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, I want to get this game on. I want to get it, but I don't know if I can justify going through all the trouble.
Yeah, it's way too much. Unless you've already got like a Japanese Amazon account, that'll probably save you some of the hassle that I had to deal with.
Yeah. Which actually I might, because I remember having to buy some of my amiibo from Japanese Amazon.
Well, that was the other thing. I bought while they were on sale, I bought all of the Monster Hunter Stories amiibos from PlayAsia. Those also got canceled.
RIP. PlayAsia dropping the ball here. They're usually better than this.
I can't remember if I mentioned this on the podcast, but my card also got flagged, so I also had to spend an hour sitting and talking to my bank.
Saying, yes, it's really me buying Japanese stuff.
Yeah, like, I know this isn't somebody pirating my card from Japan. It's me.
Yeesh. Hands, what's up, dude? Says, will Destiny 2 be playable on PS4 with that 30 FPS? I'm usually unable to play shooters on 60 FPS, but Destiny 1 was somehow manageable. Yeah, Destiny 2 is going to be on PS4, and it is going to be 30 FPS.
Oop. Got me there, Bracky. You got me. Oh, now he's limping. Alright. Oh, and here's me without my spinning meteor 3. Let me just... I'm just gonna kick... No, I don't have enough tranks.
RIP.
Yeah. Yeah, well. The only good Bracky is a dead Bracky. Man, I used to hate this guy in 3U.
The Bracky?
Yeah. I was always a gunner main, and so he would just single target me the entire fight. Like, would not hit anybody else.
That's how he works, man. That's just how it freaking works with when you're the vulnerable class. The monster will just single target you forever.
And he's dead.
There we go.
Get my cards and get out of here. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you want to see more Monster Hunter, you're welcome to join me on my channel. I'm probably going to be streaming again fairly soon. Maybe like within the next hour or so. I don't know. Might take a little lunch break and then get back to it. So, thanks for watching. We're going offline now. Bye-bye.
Take it easy, guys.